Hi guys, Lee Gettess here with the Market Sets for the week of January 23rd, 2018. The charts in this presentation are provided to us by Gettess and their Trade Navigator software. Looking at a weekly bond market chart, they kind of caught me off guard last week, and they're still confusing me a little. They started up last week, looking like they might be reversing, but they weren't even strong enough to make it to the middle moving average before breaking down and taking out, well, all the lows of the sideways. That's pretty weak. That's a severe sign of weakness. And now this week they've gone back up to the resistance, which is around, what is that, 149.21, and they've been to 22? Yeah, that's pretty close. So that all looks very bad. The momentum indicator says there's more momentum to the downside. Everything looks really ugly, which it didn't a week ago. But despite looking ugly, they haven't really broken down yet. I mean, they are taking out the lows of this whole sideways pattern, and you would think that could lead to an acceleration to the downside. But they've got support down here around 147.20 that they haven't shown any signs of wanting to run to yet. They've bounced a couple times during the intraday so far. So kind of a surprising viewpoint here. The middle moving average is 150.22. That's the green moving average right in here is around 150.22. That would be nice. See them get back up there. They would look like normal, like they're not in quite as bad a downtrend as they might be. But again, as bad as the downtrend looks like it could be, we're not seeing it yet. So we'll just keep an eye out for that. They look like they could break. They just haven't. And speaking of breaking, you think this ever will? This is the weekly S&P E-mini, and this move you're looking at here in the last couple months, is pretty close to unprecedented. I mean, we had some pretty good strength back as far as 2011. Of course, you can go back to 1987 for big bull moves, but this is just sort of outrageous. The upper moving average hasn't even been sniffed lately. That this week is at, I think it's 27.83.84. Clearly, we're miles above that already. The only thing you can say about a move like this is that it will probably end very violently, very abruptly, no warning, and it'll take a pretty good dumping at some point. But that won't necessarily mean anything because, gosh, support to this uptrend could be so much lower. They could drop a couple hundred points, which, that would be a little scary, but they could drop a couple hundred points, and looking at the chart, it would still look fairly bullish. So there's not much you can do. If you're long, great, hold on and keep running your stop up. They may never stop. If you're not, there's not much you can do. They're not offering any opportunities to buy, and you certainly don't want to sell a market like this because predicting where that high is going to be is just absurd. They always run longer and harder than anybody thinks. So, all you can do is kind of sit back and admire it at this point if you're not involved. I wish there was a better way to deal with that, but this is not what you'd call normal market behavior here. So that's what we've got for you today. I hope you can find something profitable to get yourself involved with.